All right, let's go. Let's talk about Lamar Jackson because today came out the news that he got
Crazy.
he got franchise tag today, so that's brand new news. The Ravens franchise tag him for I think it was like 32 million. So that means that the Ravens have the rights. They retain his rights, so he can go out and talk to other teams, and teams give him many offers. But if the Ravens can match, they can keep Lamar Jackson. So I don't know how you guys feel about Lamar Jackson because there's a lot of rumors about him. I heard about him going to the Jets, maybe come to Miami. Miami might be interested. Jojo, I'll go to you first. Lamar Jackson, how do you feel about him? You know, I feel like he's going to be signing for a big ass contract. So the fact that they franchise tag him, like they're trying to retain him, how do you feel about Lamar Jackson with the Ravens?
Listen, man, if they really wanted to keep him, they would have just paid the man the money, right? So there's no, oh, we're trying to hold on to him. Nah, they just want leverage. The team just wants leverage, right? I think he already paid his dues. He's proved himself. Unfortunately, he got injured this last season, and they were trying to rush his comeback to see if he could prove himself again in the playoffs. You know what this man can do. Like he's an MVP winner. Or unfortunately, he doesn't have a Super Bowl yet, but it is a team sport. And there's one team we forgot that was kind of out shopping for him. What was rumored was the Falcons, and they actually.
Oh yeah,
closed that
I heard about that.
Yeah. So I mean, sucks for the Falcons, man. They should have look where they're at, bro. Like zero contention. I don't know who they're gonna get. They're in need of a massive rebuild, and they should have. If I was a Falcons fan and you're telling me we gave up on trying to get Lamar Jackson, generational talent, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, I've been crushed.
But but I mean, overall, franchise tagging him, I guess gives you another buffer year, right, to try to see what he can do. Which you know, like what more is there? Yeah. Give the man the money. That's my opinion.
And he's asking what I've heard is Lamar Jackson is asking for. He was asking for the Deshaun Watson contract. He wants big money, guaranteed, all this stuff. Julian, I'll go to you because I heard the Atlanta rumors, but I saw Jay Glazer was on Twitter. He's like, I don't see Atlanta happening. Julian, how do you feel about signing a big money contract to Lamar Jackson? Like, is he that great?
I mean, I think it's scary. Like, I don't do we realistically can expect Lamar Jackson to be a top 5 quarterback year in and year out? Like, yeah, he wasn't this past year, and you're going to pay him Deshaun Watson money, and you will already sell. We're not talking about it's not on the docket, but Deshaun Watson, that contract's they're already trying to fix that because that shit is ridiculous. Yeah. Cleveland just came out saying that they're trying to restructure it and everything. I don't know. I don't know if you give him a blank check, and we obviously see that in the Ravens. We saw them in the Falcons. People are not willing to pay what he's asking for because of his injury history. He's 1-3 playoff record, which I don't like counting playoff records against players. I don't think that's fair.
That bad. That's
I don't. I just don't like. I think there's too many factors that go into a playoff record. It's playoff. Yeah. But the fact that he's still not an elite thrower, in a position
we say that,
but that's the thing. He's just not. Do you want to pay a guy $50+ million a year on a guy who isn't even in the top 5?
Yeah, but his all throwing in the league and his impact on the team overall, their win percentage. Listen, last season, how many games did the Baltimore defense give up?
I mean, I'm just
Lamar
saying,
Jackson had 5 touchdowns. He had 4 touchdown passes. He had touchdowns, and they gave up. So those are things we're not considering before he even got injured. Every year they say he can't pass, but he gets better. His numbers are going up, and they're still comparing him to, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, pocket passers. That's not his style.
When was Lamar Jackson drafted? 2018. He's been in the league 5 years now. I'm pretty sure it's 2018. Okay. Are you going
number 1 pick, 32? He got drafted in 2018. 32, first round.
Yeah, so this is going to be his 5th season. Yeah, his 5th season. I mean, all I'm saying is, obviously, I'm just talking about what's going through the heads of these front office people. Yeah. And I kind of get it. I get it. As a fan, it's man, do you want to give tie up that much money. If you can structure the contract in a salary cap friendly way and maybe give him big fat signing bonuses, I don't give a fuck about that. That coming out the owner's pocket. But like, if this man's going to take a $50 million like cap hit for the next fucking like 6-7 years, like, is that worth it? Like, I don't know. Like, and I can see the conflict that the Ravens have been having the past 2 years, and why you're seeing teams like Atlanta, they see how much that is, and they're like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna pull out. I'd rather take my chances with the young guy who, and this is a really good quarterback class coming in. Like, a lot of people are rating a lot of these college quarterbacks pretty high, and Atlanta's going to get a pretty high draft pick. So it's like, do we save the money, rebuild the team with draft picks and smaller signings? And I mean, look at the Jaguars, for example, and the Chargers. You have guys on rookie contracts, and you can now spend all this money to like get out talent and get the best out of it. Versus if you start off, if you're a bad team like Atlanta, and then you pick up Lamar Jackson, now you're putting yourself in a deeper hole to where how long term can you get these guys? And I think that's the worry. And then the Ravens too. I think the Ravens are suffering from. The Ravens got a lot of veterans on that team that are making a lot of money. So I don't know, man. Like I see the dilemma.
But I kind of see the dilemma, but not.
Like, do you pay him more than Josh Allen? And that's what it seems like he's asking for. Would you take Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
Well, why?
He's an MVP winner. Like, he's proved himself. And like I said, like, you know, aside from his injuries and the Baltimore defense, which is crazy, right? We never really talk bad about Baltimore defense, but we've seen it this past season. And how many games? Bro, they gave up a game to your team because of bad defense.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but I mean,
you know,
but I mean, I would also say, like, on a head-to-head match, like in that game, Trevor Lawrence.
If Lamar was playing that game, do you guys think you would win that game?
Lamar did play that game. I think that was like his final game. Didn't he play that whole game? I think he went out the next week. Did he not go out the next week?
I can't.
The comeback game.
I thought Lamar played that. I knew he played part of that. At least he was in that game. I don't know if he got injured that game or if it was the game after. It was around that time though. But I could have sworn Lamar played that game.
Lamar was 16 for 32 against the Jaguars.
Yeah, he played that full game.
For 37. And the Ravens lost 27-28.
There you go.
And the Ravens had the lead.
Exactly my point.
And they lost the game. And he went. What is it, Gabe? 16 for 32.
Yeah. 250.
He went 50% completion.
250, one touchdown.
All I'm saying is I see the dilemma. It's like, do you want to pay this guy Deshaun Watson money? Is he worth Deshaun Watson money?
I mean,
and I know you guys want to say MVP this, MVP that.
Was Deshaun worth Deshaun Watson?
No,
money?
I didn't. I was never high on Deshaun Watson.
That's what I'm saying, though. But like, my man's got paid, so like, I don't understand.
Here's my question.
And also at the time when Deshaun Watson got that money, he was undoubtedly a top 3 quarterback in the league at the time.
Bro, he put a string of a few good games. He was young. Was his first 3 seasons?
No, he was a Pro Bowler that season, and he played and he led it to the playoffs in the second round and barely lost to Kansas City.
But was he an MVP like Lamar Jackson?
I think he played at MVP level.
Most valuable player. Lamar Jackson was.
I mean, if you're just going to hold up MVPs, then I can't debate this.
You're talking about getting paid. Like, you're talking about top quarterbacks.
When did he win the MVP? He was MVP in what, 2019?
18 and 21.
It's contract time. So listen, you've proved yourself.
It was
what I'm saying.
Game?
I think it was 19 and 21.
Listen, we're talking about he's not a top quarterback.
He got 2 MVPs? Yeah, he got 1 MVP.
Listen,
yeah, he was. But what year was he an MVP?
What I'm saying is that he's proved himself.
2019,
and he's not a fluke, right? He might not be the perfect pocket passer that everyone loves, but he's proved himself as a quarterback, clearly winning an MVP, which obviously is not everything, right? It's not. But I'm just saying that.
My question with the Ravens is like
to get money.
My question with the Ravens is like, what's your second option? If you don't want to keep your MVP, What's your second option?
You got a Pro Bowler on the bench.
Okay. All right. Listen. I think the Ravens, they're trying to keep him for cheap. I don't know how long he's going to stay with the Ravens. But them tagging him with the franchise, I think they're trying to keep him on the cheap. I think, unless they make moves for Atlanta, because if you have picks, you've got a lot of picks, you're trying to restructure, rethink. I think the Ravens should, because, like you said, they have a lot of veterans, Julian, and they probably should restructure. They probably should give them away and get something in return. But if you're the Ravens, what's your second option? Okay, you get rid of Lamar Jackson. Who else do you have? You want Tyler Huntley? That's your next answer.
Pro Bowler, man, Pro Bowler. Okay. No, here's what I think it is. I think they're clearly okay with that. What is the franchise tag price? They're clearly
32
okay
million,
with that.
32 point something.
All right, 32 million at a projected 45 million. So they're okay. That was a weird sound. Okay, they were okay with that price. So you know what? I think they're at the point. If somebody's willing to pay more than that, then they're like, you know what? So be it. You can have them.